Did you really think the garage is only open in summer? What, are we made of sugar? Hey, come on in and check out our next project. It's a 2000 Silverado 2500 extended cab long box, 157-inch wheelbase. It's got a 6-liter in it, gas job, and automatic. Pretty plain truck. It's got the WT, so the work truck package for the interior. Some of the things I want to do, I want to jack it up a little bit, so I'm going to get Richard LaRue here. And I thought all we do is just tweak the torsion bars in the front, put blocks in the back. Sure. I want to get some bigger tires, probably like at least a 285. Pretty clean inside too. I'm actually crazy about it. Obviously, I detailed the heck out of it.
Oh yeah, this is comfortable.
We need someone to come in here to maybe put a center console in here and flow this all into here. Maybe we could put stuff down here. And
I think I want to leave this open.
Oh yeah.
But like just something here, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically the number one thing we need to do right now is just get the people that are going to do some work that's going to take a couple days to do, because we really only have 3 days to do this. Once this truck is complete, Jay and I will be taking it on the road trip of a lifetime. More than 1,600 kilometers, or 1,000 miles one way, south to north. Really, really north. First up to help us out, Steve and Mary Redmond from Action
Nice
Sign.
to work with.
Right on, cool. So what kind of things are you thinking about?
Well, like I said, we were looking at, we could do the snow drifter here on the back with maybe an abominable snowman in there throwing some snowflakes.
You know what I thought would be neat? You think you could make a decal of a map of Manitoba?
Sure.
I'll write down for you where we're headed in Manitoba.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that would look neat if it showed sort of the spots that we're hitting as we're on the trip, right?
Sure.
Next is my neighbor from down the way, a true jack of all trades, Jeffrey Kopp. I don't know what Chevy was thinking here, but like this seat does not fold. Like this piece does not fold forward. So they had 3 different versions. They had this seat, which is stationary. Then they had a second one that flipped forward that had cup holders in it that you could put your arm on. Yeah. And then the third was a full center console, but that takes all this up too. And I kind of don't mind this being open here, eh? So do you think there's like some way that we could either make this flip, but I wouldn't mind it still being able to be used as a seat, right? So now our plan is to create some kind of a peg here that enables a center console to sit on here that articulates over to there with a bin in it. But I also wanted to maintain this, so he can put a couple plugs in here and set it back on there so that this is, in fact, again, a 6-passenger truck. General Motors places their spare tire under the box of the truck to save space. It's a very smart system, and when it works, one might even say it's genius. When it works.
Look at that thing.
You may remember my friend Richard LaRue from season 1 of the show. You're the guy that when a dummy like me goes and rents a truck or gets a new 4x4 or borrows his dad's truck and gets it stuck at the floodway up to the axles and muck, you come and pull guys out, right?
That's right, yeah.
You drive this truck all the time?
Correct, yeah.
You drive it on
my daily driver, yeah.
So what's the reaction from people when they see you driving
People
this?
freak out, they get out of the way.
I bet they get out of the way, yeah, for sure. For getting a truck to really stand up tall, this is the man you want to see.
Hood's moved a bit so far.
Come on.
Oh.
This is how Chuck Norris changes tires. Excellent. Problem solved. After raising the torsion bars in the front, Richard moved on to the back, where we got into more, shall we say, heavy-duty work. This little project was coming together nicely. I even got into the action turning a few wrenches, while Richard made the adjustments on the plastics for the new tires. That just did it. That just made this, to me, that just makes this truck now. Like you said, it makes it look new, eh? While Evil Dave isn't coming along on the trip, he still came around to lend a hand. Mostly because I don't ever let Jay touch the tools. Unfortunately, I think he still did manage to at some point. I wasn't sure if you were done with these panties yet or not, but I decided to use them as a rag.
Done like dinner.
So we got fresh oil, we got fresh fluids, everything's topped up. We got a new alternator, battery test's good. I really don't know what else we can do. Should be good to go, really.
Okay.
Should be good for another 240,000 kilometers.
Hard ones.
Just in the nick of time, Jeff came around with the new center console he fabricated out of aluminum. Man, this guy can build anything. Right on. So now how are you going to mount that now? It's just going to have some pegs in it that are going to go into those pegs that are existing from the old seat?
Yeah, we have to cut those pegs down a little shorter. We cut them off the other night. We just did a rough cut on them.
Yeah.
So we'll have to trim them down and then have to decide how far forward or back
So let me
you
jump
want to
in
put
there
them.
and see what that feels like, even just sitting on the seat there. Oh yeah. And then the advantage of this is then we can still unpeg the other one and put the seat back in if we do want to have a 6-passenger in this truck, right?
Right on.
Couldn't ask for more, man. Chiller.
Steve and Mary came back. Action signs should rename themselves as fast action signs. These guys literally knocked it out of the park. Watching them do their thing really showed me why I don't do this myself, what with the chubby fingers and all.
Snow Pilot. That's hot. A lot of these trucks that are 2500 series have diesel motors, so it had like a 6.6 diesel Duramax motor, but this is a 6-liter gas job, which ultimately, I kind of prefer it. I mean, everyone's always, oh, you should have got the diesel, but there's a couple of things. A, I don't know diddly about diesels, and I mean, it can be challenging sometimes to find a fuel station, whatever, and the realistic factor is we're not towing a huge motorhome or, pardon me, a huge camper trailer behind it or whatever, so we should be good to go. Got the brand new tires here. These are Cooper Discoverer STs. And then I couldn't really find wheels because the original factory wheels that came on this truck are 16 inch, but they're only 6.5 inches wide. So in order to go to this 285 width tire that I wanted to get, they recommend that you have at least a 7-inch wide rim. So these rims are actually 7.5-inch rims from a 2009 Silverado. So different truck than this, but same bolt pattern. Luckily, they didn't change it until 2011. This is very cool. This is a map of Manitoba's winter roads. We're starting down here in the southern eastern point of the province, and we're making our way up to there. It's about 1,600 kilometers, about 1,000 miles all the way, so we're more than 2,000 miles round trip back and forth. The basic mantra of this entire journey, the whole purpose of it was that my grandmother, when she was a kid in the 1920s, had to go by horse and sleigh through the winter to get from St. Jean to Morris, and couldn't go across neighbor's land because he didn't like Indians. And so we can go from nobody's stopping us now. The only thing that's going to stop us now is potentially the weather. I mean, that's really it, right?
I'm really glad to be doing this with you, brother.
I know,
This is awesome. Beautiful. Right on.
The next morning it was up early and we were off. First run southeast.
All right, buddy. I still feel like we forgot something.
You think so?
I don't know what.
I think we got everything. We should be good.
I'm seriously like so far past the inside of E right now that we may run out of gas before we even get to the end of my road.
It'll be no problem. We'll
All
get
right,
there.
let's get the first fill and let's get on the road.
Okay, brother. Drive
Travel
safe.
safe, brother.
The truck was running great. The tires, well, let me just say I started to feel less than confident on ice. This could turn out badly.
Truck seems to handle pretty good. I'm not entirely impressed with these Cooper tires on ice, but I mean they're not. In fairness, they're not winter. They're not true winter tires. They're more like a mud and snow tire. Richard LaRue from Pro Towing there had mentioned that he's got a friend who grooves tires. So basically, they take a hot knife and they run grooves in them, and that's supposed to give them considerably better traction on ice. So hopefully, I'll be able to make a little pit stop in Winnipeg on the way home and set up an appointment with that guy and get the tires grooved.
Well, it is not the furthest southeast. We decided to stop off in Le Broquerie for a quick stretch of the legs and a meeting with the RM Reeve, Claude Lucier, who filled us in on all the happenings of what was once a quiet little town. Also, it gave us all a chance to really kick back and admire each other's hats.
You are the Reeve of
The Brokery.
Le Broquerie. Okay, so tell me a little bit of Le Broquerie. How many people are around here?
We've got 5,200 people in the municipality and about 1,300 in town. And we're the fastest growing municipality in Manitoba, if not in Western Canada.
Wow, is that right? So give me, what makes it growing so fast? Like give me some time from previous till now.
Oh, I would say in the last 10 years there's been multiple factors. One of them obviously is the pork industry. We have the largest pork industry in Manitoba. Second, we're close to Steinbach, and Steinbach is now the third largest city in Manitoba.
So we looked, I just wanted to gain some knowledge, so I went on Wikipedia and I looked, okay? Now, Zoda, have you ever seen the Zoda Wikipedia?
No, I haven't, but I think I will.
What it says on there is that they wrestle to determine who the mayor is each election, and that they are the #1 exporter of wild dogs in all of North America, second only, and Le Broquerie is a distant second. So you may want to have a look at some of the.
Start reading about
you
that.
may want to have a look at some of the information online with respect to some of the area here.
First surveyed between 1873 and 1874 by the surveyor for the area, Duncan Sinclair, plots were already laid out when the first settlers arrived in the area in 1877. Once cleared of the trees they would use to build the homes, the land around them was exactly what they'd been searching for, an ideal spot for farming and raising livestock. By 1883, a little community was officially founded and the brokery was off and running. As with many French communities across the Canadian prairies, the church played an important role in the early development of the town. Between the building of the church and a few schools in short order thereafter, the brokery was growing fast. Of course, while the church may have been the community's official place of worship, the local arena was the heart of the town. The local hockey team, dressed only in Habs colors of course, would play all comers. Traditionally, the English-speaking teams would inevitably play in Leafs colors. Hey, French, English, we're all still Canadians.
As soon as you move away from an urban environment, the first thing that comes to mind is space.
Yeah.
You know, able to spread your wings a
absolutely.
little.
Yeah.
There's a culture behind that now. More and more people move towards the rural areas for that.
So that's
Otherwise
the
you
attraction,
wouldn't.
eh?
It's the attraction, it's the space.
Yeah, good.
It's the
So is that
culture
what
of
brought
space.
you back here then?
Yes, oh yes.
Were you living in an urban lifestyle in Quebec before
I
you
was
came
living
back here?
downtown Montreal,
Oh
Outremont.
wow, that's quite a difference then. So we always like to ask whenever we come anywhere, because we're hot rod. I'm a hot rod guy. He's a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Do you have that scene here? Do you have a couple of guys around that are gearheads that are working
Oh
on
God,
cars?
yeah.
and
The
stuff?
Hotel La Brokery on a Saturday night, on a warm night, they'll have 30, 40.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah.
So we should
I wouldn't
come
call
back
them
here.
choppers. I don't know much about them,
Yeah,
but little extended fork there looks.
So we should ride out here on a Saturday night.
Oh
and,
yeah,
see
yeah.
what's
There's
going
quite a
on
bit.
then?
You'd be surprised.
You're
There's
gonna
quite
buy
a
us a beer when we come back here on a Saturday
not?
night or what? All right. Well, I can't thank you enough, man. That was a very enlightening conversation. We know a lot more than we ever knew about La Brokery because we didn't know anything before we got here. And I'll tell you what, it seems like you're a great representative for what you got going on here, and I wish you guys the best of luck around here.
Yeah, well, thank you very
Right on.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
After saying our goodbyes, it was back to the road. We still had to make it to the southeast corner.
So we're actually in the rural municipality of Piney now, which I suppose in the map is the true southeast corner of the province of Manitoba. So that's pretty neat. We're almost on the U.S. border now. You know, we're like less than 100 kilometers from the U.S. border. If you pull over into, if you get across the border and you get into like North Dakota, all of a sudden everybody talks differently. You know, you're only like an hour drive away, and all of a sudden everyone's got this different don't you betcha attitude and accent that they don't say a, you know, they're different than us. That border is significant in terms of the way that it changes people. So it'll be curious to see when we travel 1,600 kilometers north in the other direction, how much more differently people talk and just sort of the different sort of just general attitudes.
Our final destination was the First Nations community of Buffalo Point, Manitoba. Fitting right into the corner of Manitoba, on the shores of Lake of the Woods, Buffalo Point is bordered by the United States and Ontario. The resort aspect of the area was the dream of Chief Thunder, a hereditary chief. Chief Thunder had a dream for his people and for their lands, a dream that his grandson, Drew Thunder, is helping to carry on today. It was Drew who gave us the tour and managed to take us out to what we figure is the furthest southeastern tip in this province. So tell us where we are right now, Drew.
Right now you're at the most southeastern part of Manitoba.
What kind of stuff do you got going on here? Like, let's say now in winter, what's happening here right now?
Right now we have our ice fishing packages going.
So tell me about that ice fishing package.
What kind of fish do you get
He's the fisherman here. Yeah. What are you fishing for?
Pickerel, pike, we call it northern, perch.
How about hunting and stuff like that? Is there any hunting around here?
Yeah, for sure we do both deer and spring bear hunts.
So we got these shacks out here. So is that mostly band members, or is this part of some of the stuff you're talking about that you would...
The close group here would be just cottage owners, a few band members, but mostly just cottage owners. And then to the right is all American side. So they're all coming way across the lake and fishing.
So they can't just wander over from America over to here, can they? Like, even though there's no official border, it's still known where it is, right?
Yeah, there's a cut in the trees that is showing distinctly where it is. And with GPS, everybody should be knowing where to go.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, we do border patrols throughout the summer and winter time to help protect our own waters.
Yeah, for sure. Because you don't want too many people coming here and getting all our good fish, right?
Exactly.
It's such a small band. Has there ever been any talk of expansion of that band, or is it just sort of, was it bigger at one time? Was it smaller at one time?
Years ago, about 180 years ago, it was a lot bigger than this. And this lake got flooded out and wiped the whole band out and forced them to leave.
Chief Ayashwash signed Treaty Number 3 for Buffalo Point at the Northwest Angle in 1873. In 1900, Little Thunder, the son of Ayashwash, became chief, followed by Old Jim Thunder until 1941. Shorty, Warren Thunder, was appointed next chief until 1969 when he retired and appointed his nephew Jim Thunder. So where was your Grandpa Jim living when he decided that he was going to take this land back and turn it into something?
Well, there's always talk of it, as this is one of the very few hereditary chiefs on the First Nation. My great-grandpa and so forth, they kind of always had this dream, and about 35, 40 years ago, my grandpa had the dream of having a full year-round seasonal camping and stuff like that, and to this day his dreams have been completed.
Cool. So your grandpa, that's Jim Thunder?
Yes.
So how old is he now?
Right now he's, I believe, 87.
Wow. So he must be pretty proud of all the things that he sees here now compared to cutting a hole through the bush basically and probably setting up a camp, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. This is our first stop right here, Buffalo Point, on the way to the very farthest end that we can possibly get in Manitoba. And I'll tell you, we can't thank you enough. Look, I'm crying here already. It might be the minus 40 wind blowing in my face, but we can't thank you enough for the opportunity to come out here and see what you guys have going on. And I got to tell you, it's inspiring. I mean, the story that you tell, just such a small band, and your grandfather and the way that he just built it all up, man, you must be so proud. And I'm proud to meet you, man. Very cool.
Very nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's pretty well a wrap for the furthest easternest point of Manitoba, Buffalo Point. Pretty good, eh? We're like right on the edge of it. But you're not gonna like this though. You know when we were in the shop there and I thought the alternator was making a little bit of noise there? And then remember you tried to hammer that bearing off of that pulley there and you bent it all up and then we got to the other side. So to make a long story short, we got to stop at the shop tonight and you got to fix the thing that you broke already. And you know what? You can walk away all you want, but you better get some sleep while you're driving back home because you got some work to do in that shop, all right? We headed back to the shop, and while I've been busting Jay's chops about needing to fix a few things, I figured it would give me a chance to get the tires carved, put a cover on the back, and just double check everything. I don't really know what else we can do with the old snow drifter. I got it all jacked up, I got it all tuned up, got all the survival gear required for the trip.
Fancy new tires on it.
Yeah, new tires. Looks good to go, eh?
Fancy stickers, those should help a lot.
Yeah, stickers.
Yeah,
Make
the
you go
only
faster.
thing, I think we got one more test to put it through, and that's about it.
Don't start screwing around with this thing.
No, you figure, I got one less thing left to try here.
I'm telling you, do not screw around with this thing. It is good to go. Unless
It's okay.
Unless
I know
you're
what I'm doing.
blessing it or something, stay out of there. What are you doing with that thing?
Yeah,
Come on! Oh, no! Come on! Come on!